This is considered to be a demonstration project. Interest in what's been called multifunctional buffers has been growing over the last couple years, and the idea being that these marginal riverside and streamside land plantings have the potential to produce some income. So we have another project elsewhere where a bunch of nut trees and other potential cash crops have been planted. And so this is just kind of a demonstration to show that plants of economic value could be planted in these marginal lands.
This is the poplar tree. Farther upstream, it is very protected. It goes through another parkland and it's wooded and it has a good buffer. When it bumps out into this park, you can see that it's really just open to the world. So we could see that this particular stream at this spot needed a little bit of help. It's a very high-use park. As you can see, they have baseball games and stuff going on all summer long. People like to park right there to watch the game, so they didn't want anything too high planted in here, which is why the municipality hasn't done anything up until this point. So we were able to work with them and say, okay, well, if you allow us to do this here, the stream will benefit, and as will our program, because we can show people what they can do. So it's kind of like a limited visual, you might say, for people that still want to have a good view of the stream and the park. But we get what we want because we've just protected 2,000 feet of the poplar tree.
Great.
And in addition, once they see how cool this is, then they might let us do something over on the other side. Well, it's a municipal park, but they have a separate board who runs the park. So we had thought perhaps they could use them as a fundraiser in the spring. They could harvest them, or the master watershed stewards or the master gardeners could harvest them. Because pussy willows, if you don't coppice them, coppicing is when you cut them back every year. So each spring they put out these wonderful stems full of catkins. If you don't cut them back, eventually they're just going to turn into big trees, and you'll never be able to reach the catkins at the top. So to manage a site like this, you should coppice it every year. So we thought, we have the master gardeners and master watershed stewards can come in and assist with that, and they too could use them as a fundraising item, maybe at the flower show or something like that. So it helps to ensure the health of the pussy willows, and they derive a benefit, and the park also can do that if they choose. What we did was put in 18 different kinds of pussy willows. And the idea is that, when we're trying to promote riparian buffers and getting people to sacrifice a bit of their land to put in a buffer, and, so we're trying to help them find things that they could also derive a little bit of profit from. So pussy willows, people think, oh yeah, they're the little gray ones, same thing. No, there are so many different kinds of pussy willows. So we wanted this to be a place where we could showcase some of the many varieties so that people could come and look at them and say, oh yeah, that's the kind I want to grow. And just so they could get a better idea of their rigor, how well are they going to do in this type of situation. So these were put in late spring of 2019. So they've been through one winter, a full flood season, and you can see that they are doing spectacularly, and that they have lanternflies right here. So, lanternflies, look at that. You want to get a picture of those? That's just great, but they're going to die soon anyway. Anyway, off my willows. So anyway, that's the idea, so that people can come and look at the different varieties and have an idea of their growth habit, how long it's going to take until they can produce a sellable stem. And this is the one I'm really excited about. Here, I'm going to show you this. This is called Udensis sacca, And people may have seen this in flower arrangements that you get, or different places. They might use it like Asian style decorating, or restaurants and stuff. They get these flat stems, and then the little catkins just kind of grow out of the little ridges in the stem. So, you know, when this is a big, tall, twisted, reddish stem full of these tiny catkins, it's a really spectacular plant. And so people can see, like, wow, eudensis, it really does grow well in this environment. I can plant that and harvest it. So that's what we wanted to show here, that it's a product that Pennsylvania can produce. Because if you look at where the pussy willows come from that you see at Wegmans or, you know, Weiss markets, wherever, they come from Canada, they come from the Carolinas. You pay $10 for 8 little stems. Here we can grow it in Pennsylvania. It's something that we can do. We can do it in marginal land, and people can get additional farm profit from it. And especially if somebody's already working with the restaurant trade, or if they have a CSA or a farm stand, it's an additional product that they can provide to their customers. This one's called Winter Glory, and this is what people traditionally think of when they think pussy willow, because you can imagine that in the springtime, all of these little buds that you see here are the catkins that are going to turn into those wonderful, soft little gray catkins, which people think of as the pussy willow. But look at this. So this is a year and a half's growth. Look at all the stuff on this 1, 2,
Japanese
shrubs here
off of it, and then we're essentially just cutting back everything that isn't. So just one additional reason that the municipality wanted to do this here is that all the municipalities now have regulations under what's called MS4, which is municipal separate stormwater systems. So they have obligations to protect water quality and reduce pollution entering streams. And so this project actually helps them meet their obligations, their regulatory obligations. And it didn't cost them really anything. The Watershed Coalition of Lehigh Valley applied for the grant, and our volunteers did the procurement and the planting, and then here we are working with a number of, you know, invasives, pulling them out of here. So there's really not a lot that the municipality had to put in to get this benefit.